Tuesday, right?
Okay, thanks everybody for coming. Welcome to the April meeting of North Hilton Amateur Radio League. Hello everyone. She's trying to tell me where to go. All right, please silence your communication devices. Exits are through the front doors, rear door, and the kitchen. Water fire extinguisher in the kitchen, restroom along the corridor at the entrance. Watch out for the cords on the floor, please. After the meeting, we need to store the chairs, tables, sweep up and take out the trash, and leave the building clean before 9:30. So we're going to end the program at 9 o'clock this time, not whatever it was, 9:20 this time. What was the last thing I just missed on there?
About being up at 9:30.
Okay. All right, so yeah, and we have to stack the chairs on these racks, and the racks cannot come out of the room. So anyway, we've about got that figured out. I think I've got the picture. They just removed it. Yeah, so that picture is inside the door there to help us figure out how to stack them. If we don't stack them right, they fall on some of the ladies here. People have gotten hurt, so let's not do that. Please wear your name badges and or a logo shirt like this so we can all see who everybody is. If you don't have one, order it on the mark. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Welcome all new members, first timers, visitors. You came through, hopefully you got little green dots. Everybody can recognize you as a new member or visitor. Any new members, visitors here tonight? No one?
One there.
One? Jim? Jim, our speaker. Oh, we got one back here signing in, okay. All right, we'll do a quick roll call. There's not too many people here. We'll do the roll call, and if you're from another club or just visiting, please let us know as we go through the roll call. I'll start. Daryl, K4RGK.
Lloyd, K4UPI.
Steve, KS4KJ. I figured y'all would fill it in.
Reed, W2CQH.
Lee, N4WYD.
Jim Sorensen, KA4II.
Jim, W4IU. Fred, KK4ZKA.
David, M0DJD.
Gary, AK4NA.
Mike,
N2VGU.
Tammy, KK407.
Jim Stevens, KJ4QVT, Vice President.
Steve, WB4CVB Membership Chair.
Bob, K4 Very Bad Memory Activities Chair.
Wade, KE4WYU.
Mike, KN4OK.
And we got Gary.
There we go.
Yeah, go ahead.
Austin, KN4BFL.
Diane, KN4KSD.
Steven, KW4HQ.
Zig, AF4MP.
Mike, N4MEP.
Matt, KG8TRS.
Shane, KF4TJY.
Tim, K4RA.
Wes, Whiskey 3 Whiskey Lima.
Michael, N4ABI.
Jim, W4QO.
Mark, KX4MZ.
He doesn't know what his call sign is.
You gotta do it.
Bootlegger.
Mark, KJ4YM.
Bill, K4YJI.
Where you going?
Where are we at here?
Me. Ian, NV4C.
Okay.
Eddie, AE4TQ.
Max, November 5 Zulu Zulu.
Greg, KN4APC.
Terry, W4YBB.
Larry, K9OQ.
Wayne, KC5W.
And Bill, we missed Bill over here. Let's grab Bill.
Bill, K4YJJ. That's my brother.
Steve, AB4GG.
Chris, KI4APG.
John, KC4JBJ.
Mike, KF4UQ.
Chuck, AE4CW.
John, N4IHV.
Bob, AC4BH.
Fred, N4CLA.
John, N4TOL.
Scott, KM4JXE.
Grant, KK4PCR.
Warren, KD4Z.
Mike, and I think I'm still in 4N for another day.
Lane, KB4KHQ.
Did we miss anyone? Welcome everybody. Great group. Great group. Thanks for coming. Okay, so at the end of the evening, which should be about 9 o'clock, we'll have a door prize drawing, a $25 Visa gift card, and a $50 drawing after that. If you bought your red tickets, we can get you in on that. Very good. Membership, Steve, real quick. Okay.
Our membership increased. 2 months ago, we were at 271, now we're at 282. Some of that is people renewing that had dropped off and everything like that. We do have a few new members on that. We're working on doing that, and that's our present numbers right now. Okay? And just remember to renew when your time comes up.
So we had one issue where somebody that was on the expired list that we were passing out wasn't actually expired. We apologize for that. Occasionally mistakes like that can happen, so we're going to talk about that and maybe find a way to try to be a little bit more subtle or something. But anyway, realize we're all volunteers. We can make mistakes. So. Okay, John? George Cuso Party. Caught him off guard. Who all participated in the Georgia Cuso Party? All right. Better than about 60%, 70%.
Thank you.
Great job, John.
Well, I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun. And, but now the important part is to get the paperwork done, as we say. And I'll review this, and please ask any questions, because I know when I first did it the first time, I was a little bit confused myself. But there's two sources we want you to submit your scores to. One is the Georgia Cuso Party, which is the entity that runs the contest, and that's where they do the official counting for the real contest scores, if you will. So you need to, through your logging software, the Cabrillo file, we'll go over that in the next slide, and the other submission is to the North Fulton Challenge, which maybe isn't as important, but certainly is more fun, and we get to see what everybody else does. So, next slide, please. So for the GQP, go to the GeorgiaCusoParty.org site, and in your Cabrillo file off of your software, designate your club affiliation as North Fulton Amateur Radio League, and that's the way they can account for all.
You want to spell now?
The whole thing, the whole thing.
No, okay, so in your instructions online, you put the letters NFARL, and yet at the club you said spell it out in full.
Yeah.
So there's a disparity. So
I'll fix it.
which one?
Right.
Right.
I didn't realize.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I sent it with NFARL because that's how you had it. So I have to.
Was that on the website like that, or
Yes.
Oh, my Lord.
we're cutting your pay? Steve?
That's all right. I'll double your salary.
So do I have another bid?
FYI.
Yes.
Is this been a change in the way they do things at their end? Because I was looking, and up until this year, I've only ever put NFARL. It never had a problem, and that's why I'm just curious if this was a change.
Right. There are three ways that our populace has suggested we do it. One is the way the ARRL has us, as North Fulton ARL. One is to just use NFARL, and then there's the full spelling North Fulton Amateur Radio League. I'm hoping that even if there is some different submissions, that the GQP people will be nice and count them all together. You know, it's supposed to be a fun contest and not so formal. And when we talked about it, some of the folks on the team decided that everybody knows North Fulton Amateur Radio League. NFARL might have worked just as well. I don't like the one for the ARL myself, North Fulton ARL. Nobody ever says I'm with North Fulton ARL. Everybody says NARFL or NFARL. So, your Cabrillo file is generated by the logging software, and they want it 2 weeks from the end of the contest. I'm presuming they mean Sunday the 29th. Get it in early so there's no question.
John?
Yes, please,
I'm
questions.
curious, you say designated, but can you tell me how you designate it? I mean,
Well, depending what software you use, I use N3FJP. I'm sure the other ones are similar. When you go to generate your Cabrillo file, maybe the N1MM people can shed some light as to how it requests club.
I can. We can.
Go ahead. Anyway.
Yeah, in the station information, or when you set up your station stuff in N1MM, there's an entry there to designate what your club is that will be inserted into the Cabrillo file.
But, okay, that's...
Would you spell it out, or do you?
I always spell it out because Chaz told us to do that a few years ago.
And you can do that after the contest as well. I presume. If you
Yes.
forgot to do it.
You can
then
go into the text file, you know, and edit it with Notepad and add that line or put that line in. Some programs that rake data off the Cabrillo files expect those to be in certain places. And on the GQP website, Jeff has a very specific format of how he expects which lines to be where in the Cabrillo header. If you haven't seen that, there's a page that says how to prepare your Cabrillo file.
And N1MM does it very well. It's
It's compliant,
yes.
and I expect N3FJP.
N3FJB is when you go file and create a Cabrillo file. It gives you a template and it has a field there where you
Right.
put in your club name. It's very
But
simple.
Jeff has been his webpage, or the webpage
He,
on,
yeah. And he has a little tutorial on N1MM as well, I believe, on there.
maybe,
Okay, and for the NARFL challenge, you can download a spreadsheet from the website. It's an Excel spreadsheet, it's very basic. We ask for more minutiae type detail, but the reason that we do is so that we can parse all the different categories and see which people can qualify for certain recognition. So if you were a left-handed keyer on 6 meters, there might be a little more.
oh, I actually did operate left-handed for a while. Just
On 6 meters?
No,
Oh, well.
And we put May 1st as a deadline. Try your best to do it. It really only takes 5 minutes to do the spreadsheet, so thank you for in advance. Now, results. This meeting is, we usually don't have the meeting so close to after the conclusion of the QSO party. So I got in from where I was up in Fannin County yesterday, late last night, and this morning I was just swamped doing all the things that we all do in our regular life. And so I see a lot of the submissions. I appreciate that we got so many early. I haven't opened them all up. I did focus on, because it was easy to do the one-by-ones. And this was done this morning. I think we're up to about 18 now of people who spelled NARFL, 4 DX stations, and I think 3 club members so far. So, and that's just 48 hours after the contest, which is pretty good. I expect to see some more. So check your logs, see if you spelled NFARL, and get them in. I think that's about it. If you have any questions, email me. I'll be around here today. I do have, just to get your flavor, this is one of last year's awards. I see him in the room tonight. N4N/N5ZZ Max was one of our rovers last year. And he lives in St. Simons, is that right?
I do, yes.
And so he blesses us with his presence from the beach here. And I'd like you to come up and just get a little recognition. He's... First place overall on the famous N4N rover team. That's in the NARFL challenge. I think they probably do pretty well in the GQP total as well. And Max and Mike and Tim and Mark. Mark's here? Okay. And they heated up the waves. So
Very cool, thank you.
good to see you.
Thank you, sir.
Come more often.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
In St. Simons in 6 weeks. And that's about it. Thank you.
Okay, hang on a second. Well, yeah, okay, go ahead.
Hi, once again, my name is Bob Hensey, K4 Victor Bravo Mike. I'm just going to highlight one upcoming event, which is the one-day getaway at West Bank Park on Lake Lanier. It's sort of a warm-up for the day in August, the Island QSO party, and it's going to be in that same pavilion we were in last August. And it should be a really fun day. We got folks bringing in antennas and radios and portable stuff, and so you can come by and ask questions about the setups. Maybe you want to make a portable setup. We're gonna have the grill fired up, so you can bring hot dogs, burgers, whatever you want to cook. Bring something to drink, and we're gonna have a great time that day. So we're hoping to see everybody out there. And The other things
What time
coming
does
up
it
are,
start?
what's that? It starts, Terry, when are we starting? Like 8 in the morning?
Yeah, we'll start setting up antennas at 7 as soon as it gets daylight.
Yeah, we'll be there as soon as, because the park opens at daylight, so we'll be there setting stuff up, and you're welcome to come anytime during the day, because we'll be there till dusk. So please stop by and say hey. And
Hey.
Hi.
these are the basic things, so I'm not going to go through those again. Because of time. Thanks, Darren.
Thank you, Bob. Like Bob was saying, all this stuff about our nets, everything's all on the website. And we don't have any visitors here, so that was good timing. I'll give John here a minute to talk about field day.
All right, guys, John Norris, NFARL HV. As y'all know, we have field day coming up in June. There are some sign-up sheets in the back. If you signed up for a position, please go by and review it and sign as many papers as you can sign. We need all the help we can get. And one of the things we're going to do is, as opposed to having put down time slots on these sheets, we thought it would be a better thing if we in fact let each group, let the person that's managing the CW, whoever's managing a single sideband, etc., actually take the people that are on the list, or people that have agreed to work in those particular categories, have a meeting together and together determine what time slot works best for them. That way it works better rather than just arbitrarily taking a time slot. One guy may have something he's got to do, but he still wants to operate, and so I think it will work better by having a brief meeting with each other and then start choosing time slots as a particular group. I think we're going to have a great time this year, and so if you haven't come, please come, because it's a tremendous amount of fun. It's actually a lot of fun putting up the antennas and taking them down. If you want to have some experience in installing antennas, great time to do it, because you'll learn a lot about putting antennas up and how to shoot the lines and see all the different equipment that people use. So I think you would enjoy that. So please participate in field day. It would be a real asset to the club and to yourself. Yes.
The antenna guy would like you to do that too.
Yeah. Mike is the antenna guy. He needs all the help he can get. So sign up with Mike to help him on all the antennas. There's a sheet back in the back that says set up for field day and take down for field day. The other thing that we're planning on doing is giving away a couple of handhelds, and everyone will get a ticket that actually participates in this activity, and then we'll have a drawing, and so you have a chance to get something nice. If anyone has a question, I'll try to answer it. If not, sign up, and I've tried to figure out any way I could to bribe you, so thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, John. Thank you for offering to be field day chairman this year. So, everybody, conversation in the back is making it to the front, guys. Warren, Pavel?
I forgot two things.
Thanks.
I forgot two things. One, we're going to have a meeting Wednesday after the noon meal at the barbecue place. So if you can come to that, we'll have a field day meeting there. And we need a manager for the single sideband. Chuck said he will be the coach and the guide for someone if they will step up and be the manager. And that will just be basically organizing and trying to get everybody set up to operate. Thank you.
All right, thanks, John. All right, the bylaws require us, the board of directors, to review expenditures and revenue and come up with a budget. So we've done that. We looked at last year's actual expenses versus what the budget was, and using that data we came up with and passed a budget for 2019. And it's coming upon us to let the membership know, and this is it, we're letting you know. We used a conservative estimate of revenue and a generous estimate of expenses, so it kind of we always do better than what we budget, because we don't budget in things like, go ahead and go to the next slide, I think. We don't do things like,
Estate sales.
yeah, we don't do the estate sale items or any kind of donations of equipment. And then on revenue, we don't go crazy with what we think the membership's going to be. We stay pretty close to where it's been. So membership is our one revenue making item, so we need to focus on that. So the repeater site climbing cost was something that would have come into last year's expenses, but it hasn't come through yet. So we have to put that in the budget for this year. So that harms us a little bit. Other than that, the expenses for this year were pretty much the same, budgeted the same as what they have been in previous years, recent years. So we can consider some new revenue generating activities, as many other clubs have. That would be a great idea to help pad our bottom line and have fun doing it. Next slide, please. So that's just a little snapshot of recent years. Last year we actually ended up doing a pretty good bit better than budgeted. John Tramatanis, by the way, does such a great job with all this estate sale item. He manages all the equipment for us. It ends up getting us several $1,000s each year that
If I could add real quick, there's some in the back of the room that you can make offers on.
make offers on what's in the back, okay. Okay, so that's just kind of a quick snapshot. You know, we'd be down a little bit from where we have been in years recent. It's a $3,200 climbing cost that it's a share on climbing the tower to get the new 4.7 repeater up. Hopefully we don't have to do that again, but there is no ongoing expenses for that repeater site. So we didn't have to sign any leases, with no monthly utilities, anything like that. So it's well worth it. And as long as that doesn't come through, hey, our bank account looks that much better, which is around 14 right now. So go back again, please. Yeah, so we have the new repeater site. We bought the new box trailer last year, which we have use for field day or anything else we decide to use it for. We have a great field day, which is a fairly big expense for the dinner and everything that we put on. If you never come to field day, don't miss it this year. It's always our greatest event. And we have a great holiday party as well. So, again, any ideas for generating revenue, we'd come to the board of directors, come to executive meeting or contact the board of directors and let us know. Any questions about the budget? Finances? Okay, there it is. Thank you. So, Norfolk logo apparel, go to the NFARL.org/mart and you can order these items that you see people wearing. I guess most everybody here knows about that. The last order finally did, my last plea, or actually did get several new orders. Thank you, Ian, you're one of them. And John's not here tonight, I don't think. We finally got him his jacket he ordered last November. Anyway, all those items are here tonight. Lori and I haven't seen Lori myself. And so the next one would normally be every quarter, but if we can get our minimum of 6 orders, we could do it on June 1st, and then you could have your items for field day if we want to do it that way. So if we get 6 items, we'll do it before field day.
Yeah, that was my question. 6 items or 6 individual orders?
6 individual items. So if you want to order 3 jackets and 3 shirts, right there.